Hi guys, so I want to, this glare on my glasses is going to annoy the crap out of me. I want to apologize in advance because if you've ever watched any of my trainings, I normally do them more kind of on the fly. And this topic is, I have a lot of notes, so I'm more or less going to be reading to you. So I apologize for that because I'm going to be looking off screen and reading to you because I'm nervous and I don't know this topic super well. So I'm sorry. And I feel like I hate that because it's a lot harder to connect with the trainer if they're not looking at the camera. But just know that I love you all and I'm very sorry that I'm nervous. My heart's like beating really, really fast because I don't know this topic very well. Which is crazy because I know this topic very well. I know it very well. I've just never trained on it. And there's a difference between knowing something well and actually being able to like teach other people about it. So I know this topic. You can powwow with me. But as far as a training on the Crown Princess Factory, like I am not... This is not going to be up to par with any of the other trainings. I'm just going to warn you right now in advance. So, okay, we have some girls popping on. So, for anybody watching the replay, you just got to see that lovely little terrified intro. Okay, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Morgan Zambrano. I'm probably going to have to grab a phone charger because my phone is going to end up dying because it always does every time I'm live. My name is Morgan Zambrano. I am a Duchess. I've been with SeneGence since March of 2017, so I've been in a little over a year and a half now, and I was one of 22 girls in the entire company to earn the LIPS trip to Australia. So this is like a huge deal, obviously, but I want to break a bunch of it down for you, because if you're anything like me, you probably don't think you can earn this trip. You probably are like, this is not a video I'm even going to watch like the entire way through because I'm never going to earn a trip. I'm not the girl that earns the trips. So if you think, no, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to let you think it. Nope, we're going to bypass that. I'm not going to make you drop any emojis. Because you can. So we're going to talk a lot about that. You can. If I can, you can. Trust me, if you watched any of my other trainings and you know my background, if I can, you can, okay? Okay. I'm going to my notes. I have a lot of notes, you guys. I'm so nervous. I'm way more nervous than the other trainings. Okay. I was such a skeptic about everything. I was a skeptic about everything network marketing, literally everything network marketing. I avoided network marketers like the plague. I didn't even talk to them. I unfollowed them. They terrified me. But the trips especially, I am a very happy person. I am very happy for people when happy things like happen to their lives. I like cry for them. But when people would earn these free trips, this is before I was in network marketing. When people would earn these free trips, my skeptic came down like hard. Like I wouldn't even like or react to their posts or congratulate them. I thought like this is some type of ploy to get me to be interested in their company. Like I didn't really think that these people were earning free trips. I thought there had to be some sort of fine print or that this was just some sort of marketing hack. You guys, like hard skeptic on the trip earnings. So even once I signed up and joined SeneGence and had my like business take off, and I love everything about network marketing. I love the relationships. I love the products. I love the comp plan. I love everything. And I still was a skeptic about the trips. Hard skeptic. Even when I was like 6 months in, I was like, I'm never going to earn these trips. Only celebs go on the trips. Only multi-million-dollar team leaders go on the trips. Like I literally thought the trips were some sort of like marketing ploy. I'm telling you, I was not a believer. So if you are not a believer in these trips, if you've never even looked into the details of them, just know that you're me this time last year. Hard skeptic on the free vacations. I don't know what it was about them that I was just like, nah. So just know that you're me, okay? Okay, so when I went to Leaders Conference last year, I had just qualified to become a lady, which meant that I had just ranked to lady, which means I had just qualified to go to the Leaders Conference. And they announced that the next LIPS trip was to Australia. That piqued my interest when they said Australia, because I have always wanted to go to Australia. My husband has always wanted to go to Australia. You guys, I literally, this is so embarrassing. When we first started dating, this doesn't matter, but I sponsored a koala at a zoo, like in his name. Whenever we first started dating, we'd only been dating for like 3 months or something like that. So like, we really love Australia. We've always wanted to go to Australia, but we never, ever in a million years would have been able to go to Australia. That's not something we ever would have put money into. Like, it just wouldn't have happened. So when I saw this trip that I could earn for me and my husband, I mean, it was like a switch went off in my mind. I was like, how do I earn this trip? I need to know how to earn this trip. I need to know all the fine print, and I'm a super research nerd, so if there's fine print, I'm gonna find it. If there's like some way that I'm gonna have to like pay for this trip or something, like I'm gonna find it. I'm a hard skeptic and I'm a research nerd, you guys. So I was gonna find out the ins and outs of this trip and how to earn it. So what actually happened once I looked up this trip, sorry, like I said, I have notes, I keep getting off. Okay, I need to stop looking because then I get off. When I looked up this trip, I realized that it actually lined up with my personal values and my way that I run my business and everything that I believe in with my personal business and my team. And just, I mean, it felt like this trip was literally meant for me, you guys. So I hope that through this training that you will end this training thinking the same thing. Because once I actually read up on it, I was like, this is my trip, you guys. So I'm going to end up crying. I've ran through this a couple of times, and even reading it to myself, I started crying. So just know that at the end of this video, I'm going to cry. Not in this middle part. This middle part's easy. But at the end, I'm going to cry. It's going to happen. I couldn't get through it without crying. Okay, so I'm going to break this into 2 parts. We're going to talk about the facts and the numbers, and I'm going to lose a lot of y'all. You're not going to care. I don't care. I just have to tell you because I'm the trainer. So I'm going to talk to you about the facts and the numbers, and then I'm going to jump into kind of how I think I earned this trip. So sorry, the middle part is going to be super boring. You're going to have to get through it. If you want to jump to the end on the replay, it's totally fine. So first of all, I want to tell you that this trip, there are no personal sales requirements. So it's not about your personal sales. And there are no rank requirements. Anybody can go on this trip. Distributor can go on this trip. No sales requirements, no rank requirements. I know for a fact that some of the girls going on this trip right now to Australia that just earned it like a few days ago are Lady and Countess, and then I'm a Duchess. So there are people on this trip that are not multi-million-dollar team leaders. The girl that was a Lady, the girl that was a Countess, and I was a Duchess, like that means this time last year, so where you're at right now in the qualification period, one was a distributor, one was a royal, and I was a Lady. So if you are a distributor, you can still earn this trip, and you can be going on this trip next year, okay? So now we're gonna get into the numbers, and I'm gonna have to read to you, and it's really boring. So just the name of the LIPS trip will tell you what it's about. LIPS trip stands for League of Independent Personal Sponsors, okay? So this contest is based entirely on your first and second line from October 1st to September 30th. So right now, we are in the very first couple of weeks of this contest period through next year. We have over 11 months to earn this trip, you guys. This is a long-term goal. Let me tell you, I thought about it every single day. There was not a single day, that I didn't think about this trip, okay? So it is a long-term goal. This is not something you're gonna earn in a few months. It took me the entire 12 months to earn this trip. So anybody, even if they joined today, could still earn this trip. So this is something I'm actually talking to people about as what did I just do? As I'm recruiting them, like I'm letting them know that the qualification period for this trip just started because I earned this trip. So I'm like, girl, a year ago, I didn't think I would have earned this trip. So I just want you to at least know about it because it's possible for you to earn it. Okay. So you can earn either a trip for yourself and a guest at a reduced rate, or a trip for 2 completely for free. So you for free, 2 of you for free, or you and a guest at a reduced rate, depending on which level you earn, okay? I earned a trip for my husband and I both to go for free. So it's literally free, you guys, it's crazy. In case you're wondering if there's fine print, there's not, like it's literally free, which is crazy. Okay, sorry. Side note. Okay, so the way that you do this is by getting 50,000 points on your first line and 50,000 points on your second line. I'm saying points instead of PV because each person has a limit to how much they can contribute. So if you sign up one girl today and she is a total rock star and does 50,000 PV in the next year, how amazing would that be? You are not going to earn the Lips trip off of one person, okay? This trip, again, my personal values, this trip ties into my personal values so much. You cannot get lucky and get this trip. This trip is for consistent leadership. Consistent leadership. Sorry, I got off track. Okay, so each person on your first line and second line can contribute up to 1,500 points per quarter. And these people can only be, I can't even think, can only be, how did I write it? Why can't I find it? Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Contribute, first and second, I don't know, I wrote it wrong. Whatever, I'm just gonna tell you. So they can only contribute up to 1,500 PV per quarter, and it's only people that have been sponsored since October 1st that count. So anybody that I sponsored prior to October 1st that helped me earn this previous Lips trip does not count for the next year. If I want to earn this trip again, I have to do it again. I have to sponsor girls and I have to lead them well. So the crown princesses who have earned this before, the queens, the empresses, they don't get to just automatically go on this trip again based on their people they've already built up. If they want to go on this trip again, they have to do it again. You guys, I love this trip. I love everything about it. They thought about everything. Nobody gets to just sit back and earn these trips for free, you guys. It's amazing. Okay, so let's see. Okay. All of that is really important to think about because the earlier you sponsor someone, the better, because then you get 4 quarters out of them. So if you sign someone now, you get the full 4 quarters out of them versus if you sign them like next May, you only get the last 2 quarters out of them. So you can only get a max of 3,000 points. Does that make sense? I'm going to get into the more fun stuff in a minute. I'm just making sure. So 50,000 points on your first line earns you your first trip for free. 50,000 points on your second line gets you your second trip for free. You have to earn the first one to get the second one. Like your guest can't just like go for free or whatever. Like you have to do the first line first. You have to be the personal sponsor first. And then your second line can come in clutch and get you that second trip. Does that make sense? Okay, so 50,000 feels huge, and I've already lost some of you because the numbers are crazy, right? But it's not, you guys. You can earn this trip with 9 people. You only need 9 people on your first line to earn this trip. So if you have 9 people that you sponsor this quarter and they do 500 PV a month, that's your trip. All it takes is 9 people, you guys. It's not a big number. So it sounds scary, but when you break it down, it's not. So you need to, I don't want to pull from other trainings, but go watch the goals and learn how to goal set. I wish I had my notebook with me because I literally wrote down like my goals for this trip and how that I planned to earn it. And I'm going off of my notes for a minute. But my first quarter last year, I only did 4,000 points. So I was already behind by 8,000 PV in my first quarter. But because it's about consistently leading people and consistently sponsoring, so you're adding more and more people every single month. And so in my last quarter, you guys, just my first line starting from October 1st of last year did over 40,000 points. That's over $80,000 worth of sales on just my first line. Like, that's huge, you guys. So yes, they only did 4,000 and I felt very discouraged after my first quarter, but I knew that I wanted to earn this trip. So I just kept pushing and kept pushing even though I was way behind. So just know that it's going to keep growing as long as you stick with it. Okay, so let's see. Sponsor 9, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so those are the actual qualifications. If anybody has any questions, let me know. The numbers are, they seem kind of complicated, but honestly, if you go into the back office, it's all there. And if you're like me, I love numbers, but they're just so big and they're so hard to imagine. I just want people to tell me what to do. Like, what do I need to do? Just like, I think it was JC that said she wanted to earn the car. And the numbers were all mumbo jumbo. So she was like, what do I need to do? And Angela told her, have 2 parties every single week to earn that Senna Blue car. So that's what she did. She had 2 parties every single week to earn her beautiful Senna Blue car. So it's things like that. You want to know what to actually do. And since I've earned this trip, and I was very lucky this year to be one of very few, I think like hundreds went on the trip last year, and then there was very few of us that went this year. So I've been getting a lot of messages from people about like tips, just tips, basic tips to earn this trip. Like, we all just want to know like what to do, you know? So what I'm going to tell you is that like I did make a list, and I hope that it's helpful at all, but there's no secret. It was a lot of hard work. So 700 last year and 22 this year. Holy crap. I didn't realize it was 700. That's crazy. That's intense. I can't even imagine. Okay. 22 this year. And just so you know, with these trips, like Joni goes on the trip. Maybe some of like the regional sales managers, I'm not sure. Shanaza said she hopes that she gets to go, but she doesn't know. But I know that Joni goes. So I get to spend like 6 days with only 21 other people in Joni. Like, that's amazing. This is a huge opportunity. So there's so much about it that I love. I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, so I've had a lot of people messaging me asking for my top tips on earning this trip. So I made a list. I don't think my list is helpful. I'm going to tell you flat out, I don't think my list is helpful, because this isn't really an action plan. It's just kind of the things that I did. And it's just a lot of hard work, to be totally honest. So I made the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm going to go backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's do this. Where's 5? Oh, it put them out of order. Okay, my 5 is listed as 4. Whatever, we're going to do this. Leslie goes to, oh my goodness. I'm so excited, but so nervous at the same time. Okay, so my number 5 tip is to use your resources. The back office breaks down this trip like into finite detail. Like, finite, that doesn't even make sense, but into like tiny, tiny detail. It breaks down every single person on your first and second line, how many points they've given you, how many points they've given you per quarter. Everything is there. Your people that help you earn this trip are there in a chart, you guys. It's just so helpful. I lived and breathed that specific chart in the back office for months daily, you guys. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. So you'll have your girls, you will have your girls who order absolutely nothing. Move on. Don't bother with them. Like, don't like ignore them. If they need your help, like help them, but move on. Don't worry about the girls who order nothing. Okay. And then you're going to have your girls that max out their 1,500 points in their first month of the quarter. Those girls probably don't need your help as much. They are your runners. They are good. They are going to be blunt if they need your help because they clearly know how to run their business. So they're going to come to you if you need something. What you need to look for is the girls who order 100 PB, 200 PB, 300 PB. If you have girls that are working their business every single day and they're only ordering 100 PB a month, they're doing this because they enjoy it. Otherwise, they would quit. Like, nobody wants to order 100 PB. So those are where I focused all of my efforts. I focused on building up those girls that were walking but wanted to run. Like, if you give them the right resources and the right amount of training and enough hand-holding, they're going to learn to run on their own and they're going to change their lives. Like, those are the girls you want to focus on. So that's where I put a lot of my focus, was building up those girls that only had like the lower orders, but who consistently ordered every month. Like, that's so huge. Consistency matters so much more. That means they're coachable and they're teachable, and that's where I put so much of my effort, and I care about them all now so much, and now they've all been built up so much, and it just makes me really happy. Okay, so that's my first one. And I would say, even if you're not planning on earning this trip, that's a trick anyway. You can still look at the report and you can still see like who might need a little extra guidance. Okay, so my fourth one, number 4, is, I feel like this one is kind of, not everybody will agree with this at all. I'm going to tell you that right now. Not everybody agrees with the way that I do things. I take care of it all like it's my business. And what I mean by that is anyone on my team is part of my business. If you are on my first line, I am probably extremely active in your group. If you're on my second line, I might be extremely active in your group. In my group, I comment on every post. I comment back to people. If people post in my group, I comment. I post selfies and I post wow videos. You know what I do in my first line group? I comment on any of their customers' selfies. I comment on their photos. I post my selfies and I post my wow videos. It is all my business. All of it. I want everybody to be successful because the more successful they are, the more successful I am. So I have like over 50 first lines and I try to like rotate through their groups every single day. You guys, like I'm constantly posting my selfies. Every time I take a good selfie, I post it in like 20 different groups because it's all my business and I care about it all being successful. A lot of their customers know me and I know a lot of their customers. Like you don't want to ever like cross those lines, but it's good if you have a relationship with everybody, as many people as you can. And yes, you are going to lose sleep if you use this tactic, but it works. And it makes your people also feel like you're there for them. You're watching them. You're still active in their group. You're not just leaving them alone, you know? So that would be a little bit of a crazy tip, but that's just who I am. So that's what you get. Okay, number 3. And I've talked about this a lot. And this I would say is probably the number 1 reason I earned this trip. This is business. So number 3 is getting comfortable doing parties and getting comfortable offering the opportunity. I got very comfortable doing parties. And yes, my parties only do $300, but that's because that's my goal. My goal is to do $300 a party because now I can tell anyone that I talk to, girl, if you sign up, I'll do a party with you. I'll help launch your business and I'll get you $300 in free product. Because if I know for a fact that I can get $300 out of a party, I can get $300 out of my new downlines friends, and she can get $300 for the product for free. And if I can say that confidently, anyone will sign up with me. And then when I do a party with her, and I hold her hand through her launch party, and I get her $300 worth of orders from her friends, and she sees that her friends love the products, I'm just building up my new downline into a confident business owner, you guys. So get comfortable doing parties and get comfortable talking with people about the opportunity. Even if you have to fake it until you make it. I promise, it helps. Sarah, I'll come back to that. I'll get distracted if I look at the comments. So get comfortable with that. And if what I'm saying is terrifying you right now, I want you to know that I didn't start doing parties until November of last year. It's still October. You still have time. If you're doing parties right now at all, you're further along in your business than I was a year ago. I didn't start doing parties until November. And all of this happened pretty much in January. So my business took off starting in January and it's just been a whirlwind ever since. So just know that you still have time. Okay, number 2, and this is your homework, okay? This is your homework for the glam station. So if you're like taking notes and trying to win that glam station, this is your homework. And it's not at the end this time, so you can't just like go to the end. I want you to write down, I'm very big into writing things down, you'll find. I want you to write down the very best qualities of a downline that you can imagine. Picture the very best downline that you would love to have on your team. Does she go live often? Does she take amazing selfies like Jessica Terrell? Does she watch trainings? Does she follow up with her customers? Does she offer the opportunity? Like, what are the qualities that you think would make a successful downline? I want you to write those down. I want you to take a picture and post them in the comments, and that's your homework. But then I want you to be that girl, okay? Because the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. And if you're not being the very best downline, then you are not going to be getting the very best downlines. Like, plain and simple. So all of those qualities that you want in a downline, that's who you need to be, and that's who you're going to attract. And that's also through your success of doing that is going to inspire your team to do the same thing. Okay, it's my high horse for a minute. I do all the things, you guys. It's a problem. Okay, my number 1 tip, and this is really almost dumb. A year ago, I would have been like, Morgan, you cannot say that out loud. Like, this is just not who I was a year ago, and I've totally changed who I am as a person. The number one tip that I have for you to earn this trip is to believe that you can earn this trip. Okay, and I know that sounds stupid, but if you don't believe that you're gonna earn this trip, you're not. You're not gonna accidentally earn this trip. This trip is hard. This trip takes a lot of work. You're gonna have downlines quit. You're gonna have people get mad at you. Like, you're gonna have some bad days where you want to just throw in the towel, and if you do, you're not gonna earn this trip. Like, I worked with this trip 24/7 for like 11 months, you guys. Like, I lived and breathed this trip, and when anything bad happened, I just refocused and found a new thing to work on because I knew that if I didn't stop, I would earn this trip. And yes, again, I'm a little crazy, but if you don't believe it, you're not gonna earn it. I promise you, this is not gonna fall into your lap. This is not something that's easy. Okay, so this is when I start crying and I can already feel emotional. So stupid. This is really dumb. I'm not even gonna be able to say it. I'm just gonna have to stop. Hold on. This is really dumb. I wish I knew who said this. I always cry. Why do I cry so much? Okay, so last year, this is so stupid. I knew I was gonna cry. It's because I built it up. Those are all of my tips. This is my training. I promise you can stop watching. This is just a little extra. Okay, so last year at the Leaders Conference, I went to the Leaders Conference last year, and they did a queen panel with 5 different queens. I don't even know who was on the panel. I really don't remember. But they asked them, I'm literally closing my eyes so I don't cry. They asked them what their top tips were for this business. And one of them said, focus on the lip strip. So stupid. Right? Nothing will smear. This is from yesterday. This mascara and eyeliner is the mascara and eyeliner I put on yesterday at 1 o'clock. Like, waterproof means it's not going to come off until you die. Just in case you're wondering. Okay. So she said, if you earn, no. Focus on the lip strip. And if you focus on the lip strip, everything will fall into place. Okay? And that stuck with me, you guys. Stuck with me so much, and I swear to you that one thing has like totally changed my life, which is so silly. It was probably Patty Winter. She's amazing. So, okay, it's changed my life because I started focusing more on my first line instead of my entire team. I started focusing on helping to build them up individually, and I started focusing on offering the opportunity to so many more people. Okay, I'm done crying. Okay, we worry about losing the sales by signing up our customers, but my brain had like flipped a switch into, if I take their sales, I'm taking from my trip. So I just had to flip that switch in my brain to, no, they're not taking my sales, like they're earning me a trip. So instead of worrying about losing your customers, what if you lock arms with your customer and you take her passion to her friends and you teach her how to sell and you teach her that live videos aren't scary and you teach her how to do what you do and then you change her life, you guys. It's huge. Sorry. So, this is so stupid. Oh my gosh, you guys. I can't even talk. This is dumb. Okay, this trip just means a lot to me. And I'm trying to be really businessy and really professional. I always cry. But I'm done. I promise I'm all done. I'm done. But I just want to say this and I can't even get it out. It's not about the trip, okay? It's not. Earning the trip is really great and going to Australia is amazing. But I cannot. This is so terrible. Okay. It's not about the trip. The reason this trip is so important to me is because if you earn this trip, if you are one of the few girls to earn this trip, it means that you have... Oh my God, I'm just gonna have to stop. This is stupid. You want to be in my video? This is so dumb. Why do I always break down? Anyway, point is, I'm just gonna go. This is so stupid. I can't even say my tagline. I am terrible. This is dumb. Okay, I'm gonna go, but earn this trip. It's amazing. I'm so sorry I can't tell you my last 3 sentences. But I hope you know that you can earn this trip and that you inspire lots and lots of people to join your team and change their lives And I wish I could end this inspirationally, but clearly I am full of emotion. So I'm gonna go do your homework, be the very best downline that you can be, and you will find the very best downlines that you can find. Bye, guys.